Evening all, welcome to Space Engineers. So this is our wonderful crane, if you remember from last time. If you didn't see last video, go check it out. That's it there. It looks shit, I know, don't take the piss. You know, this is getting there. Give me a break, it's getting there. This was really, again, just beginning of a test to see how larger ships handle, because obviously I think certainly the problem you have is when you build something quite big, the reality is that they may not work, quite frankly, to be honest. And I've got to say, I'm quite surprised actually how well this will work, to be quite honest with you. And this is even still relatively small compared to what we're planning to build. So really what we were trying to do was really just figure out, I think, the mechanics of a lot of this. So, for example, here we're trying to work out the engines. Obviously, we've got only a unidirectional engine currently. So what we need to do is now build movement capability within it. And what I mean by that is having thrusters on left, right, upside down, left, right, upside, and so on, and retro thrusters and all that. And really, once you master that, I think that becomes, kind of part of the game. Really, is having something ship that's got the right power, it's got the right maneuverability. As you can see from that, obviously everything at the end of the ship is going to mean this is a very slow ship, obviously. So we're going to have to build some form of retro thrusters at the front, but in essence it's a hauler. It's not even a freighter, it's just literally a hauler in terms of size comparison, and that means you have to obviously factor in weight, and there's a lot of blocks here, so there's a lot of weight. So certainly I think that's something to bear in mind. It doesn't take too much power, I must admit. I was surprised how little power was actually needed here, but I would say that that's probably of minor consideration because the mass of this thing is so huge. It's going to be a slow mover, and you'll see in just a moment we actually take it for a spin, albeit very slowly. So I don't know why I'm putting these smaller engines on. That's probably not really going to do a great deal, but I'll have to do some experimentation with that. Post in the comments if you know how best to group your thrusters. I see on the red ship, obviously that had some form of kind of large thruster, then two small ones, etc., and that seemed to work. So post in the comments if you've got, quote, an ideal thrust. The next thing I had a kind of major issue with was the view camera will only then view around where the command console is located. So I decided to put a second command console in the right in the middle of the ship. So there we go. As you can see, right, this is now in the middle. So it's just a bit easier to kind of navigate from. It's a mess. It's a great big kind of wedge of shit. I know, don't take the piss. It's learning, isn't it? And I think you can do all the pretty fancy stuff once you've got these basics kind of understood. So bit of a test. I've sped this up to 4 times the speed. So no, this isn't moving quick. It's moving very slowly, but it's good to do because obviously the biggest issue we're going to have once we move on to, quote, Titan-sized modules is, firstly, how are we going to build it? We're probably going to have to build it in parts. Secondly, we're going to have to figure out how to build an engine system that works as well. But look, this is a big ship. Hopefully you can see kind of how big this is in terms of its internal space. So, in terms of its, this is kind of prototype number 2. It's gone quite well. So the destroyer was obviously our learning of the system. That was our prototype number 2 to build something a bit bigger. Let's build a station now. So what we really need to do, and I was thinking about this from a logical point of view, in that if I'm going to build a Titan, I need to build it from a system or a support structure itself, because obviously that's in Eve, that's how you do it. You build it from the capital ship assembly array. And what you then have to do is build the ship basically within that structure. So I thought, well, let's build a great big station almost that will act as kind of like firstly a base. I love the idea of bases in this game. So again, we're using our planes of builds. You see here, it's just made so much easier. Look at that, isn't that lovely? And I thought this should be some sort of shining, monolith of station in the wilderness of this asteroid belt. So I thought let's have kind of 2 big hangars on either side, and let's have a landing bay on the top. So I'm thinking, kind of EVE Online for the capital ship main, building array, and that's what we'll build here. And then I thought Starship Troopers for the kind of flattened space station which the ship could land upon. So I'd actually use almost like a landing bay format. So that's what we're going to build here. Now, again, having this symmetry capability is really good. I'm so gutted I didn't know about it for so long, and also I'm kind of gutted I didn't know the scale of what you could build in terms of size as well. I guess this just comes from other games that I should not reference, because they have always almost kind of told me that no, you can't build it that big or that like that, or that so on. The technology behind this game is quite surprising because it's actually quite good. It seems very sort of strong. It seems capable and so on. So just building very quickly huge structures like you see here is a breeze. It really is. It really is very quick, simple stuff. As you can see, we've now built the floors of our kind of, I don't know, maybe they'll become like habitation decks. But again, this is a station, so there's no engines. It's just a structure in essence. And what I wanted to maybe do was just build something that, you would say is base. Because again, when you start the map, you've got two kind of NPC ships that, are kind of already pre-prepared, which, is all well and good. But what I was missing was that kind of, well, where's my base? And in Minecraft and such, I always used to build my base, and that's where you kind of learn to survive and thrive. And so I thought, well, let's make a station, a space station, and then this would be where we start to build the much bigger ships from. So that's the plan. As you can see, it's going quite well. It's really nice and simple. It's coming together quite well, in fact. Okay, yeah. I was thinking cathedrals, like Warhammer 40k style cathedrals. I'll probably retrofit that. In fact, that's really a good point. The lot of the things you build will likely look like crap to begin with. So don't be too worried about that. Get the basics right first, I would recommend. I think that's what I find is when I was building that destroyer, I was trying to kind of build the aesthetics as I was building the ship, and it did end up buggering it all up. So I would say the best thing you could do would be to build the superstructure first. Just literally build it in its entirety, as you see here. So yeah, I'm building a big Wendy house effectively, but that's fine. That's good. I want to build the basic structure that I will then be able to go and make look pretty, and that's effectively the plan. I think also as well that just there's something really quite satisfying about the speed that this is coming together as well. So I think I actually have been told that multiplayer is out today, so I'm going to certainly check that out once I finish gabbling over this video, because the reality is once you get a group of skilled builders, they're going to build very big things very quickly and have a lot of fun. And I think your prowess at building is going to be something well worth investing time in and skilling up, if you get what I mean. So this is something, again, I would stress is just the moment where I got this game. It just made sense as soon as I worked this bit out, and I thought, yeah, this is cool. I'm liking it a lot. So what we're building here is just our kind of flat level platform that will allow ships to dock upon, and really that's something we'll work upon as well, because I would love to have proper docking gantries and being able to go from the ship's gravity generator to then kicking into like a zero gravity bit where you go into the station and it's got its gravity working. Oh, that's going to be fun. So fitting out the space station is going to take many episodes, but I can't wait. And really what I was trying to do was also incorporate it into the existing structure as well. Now, there's no lifts in the game yet. Post in the comments if I've got that wrong. So there's no kind of automated lift. So I'm probably going to have to build a kind of stair system, but I've not even thought about that yet. But what I wanted to do was to merge it with this asteroid, so it's anchored in some way in the map. But also then build a kind of connection to that general platform below as well. So to me, it kind of had an upper and lower docking pylon or platform or whatever you want to call it. So there we go. Look at that. Built that in record time, and it's not too bad, none too shabby. And I think a lot of what we will try and do with this thing now is make it a much more kind of beautiful thing. It's a bit of a kind of shitty thing at the moment, but that's probably the thing is that whenever I built in Minecraft, whatever you build in Minecraft looks crap to begin with, but over time it starts to come together and it starts to look better, and that's really the plan. I think hopefully they bring in a few more machinery things that you can do stuff with, like lifts, or even if it's just an escalator or just something like that would be very nice, because it would mean that you're able to get around your ship, your station, whatever it may be, very quickly. But yeah, so begins the the building of a medical bay, a personal quarters, an armory, a refinery, a manufacturing deck, all of these things. So what we have just right here is obviously a very basic frame that we'll keep building upon. And to be honest with you, I can imagine this is going to double, triple, or quadruple in size, because if we're going to build a Titan from this, we're going to need a lot of a lot of points to build from. So we'll certainly look at that. I think also in the next episode, we'll look at the mining of this. I know at the moment we're in creative mode, but I think eventually what we do want to do is move to a fully supported, mining the blocks, then building the structure. I think that's quite important to me. I'd rather play the game knowing that I'm building a structure properly. I think that'll be something we look to do. I think also I'm quite kind of curious to see the extents we can push this, and like I say, now multiplayer is apparently out. We're going to start involving the squad a bit more, and I think because certainly Shane and I have been talking ideas for this like quite a while, and I think really there's a lot of really good kind of things out there that I'm really tempted to try. Plus, I cannot wait to try ship combat. I think combat is going to be amazingly fun. So, while, yes, the multiplayer is out, eventually, hopefully, there becomes public maps or public servers that we can start to, join and wreak havoc upon. And I think I'm really looking forward to that. And there we go. The final kind of topping glory, just to sort of set the station alight, is a beacon. So that beacon can be seen anywhere from the map, and that tells us where home is. So there we go. Very, very quickly done station, but hopefully you're seeing, that the game is incredibly flexible. There's a huge amount there, and in the next video we'll look certainly at how you mine. The mining system is exceptionally good, and you'll see what I mean in the next video. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.